Good morning, good morning. It is Wednesday, and I'm really excited to talk to you guys today. We are going to dig into some seriously essential, juicy stuff. Sharing this out to a few important places, so don't go anywhere if you're jumping on, and I'll get the lighting to be a little bit better. But today is World Mental Health Day, for those that weren't aware. So welcome. We're going to share this out. We are talking about why pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Well, good morning, Sarah. This is one, well, everyone that we do together you need to share out, but this is one you absolutely need to share out because we are not only going to have incredible awakening conversation, we are going to have empathetic conversation. We are going to talk about what I mean by pain being inevitable and suffering being optional and how that is impacting and affecting your mental health, right? Hold on one second. I'm just finishing sharing this out and then we are really going to get into it and it's going to be phenomenal. So hang on one second. You know what I'll do while I'm doing this? I'm going to sing you my morning song that sometimes I sing. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, my beautiful. Good morning to you. It's similar to a song that my mom used to sing, which makes me sad because she's not here anymore. When I was little, and it just stays with me. And sometimes I sing it. Sometimes when I call my coach in the morning, I'll sing it to her. So I know she'll pop in here and sometimes I sing it to her. I sing it wherever I can. But all right, guys, we're almost done sharing this out. This is a really important topic, so I don't want to take anything for granted, and I want to make sure that this goes live in all of the places that it needs to, because we all need it so badly. So hang tight. Hey, Paige. All right, we've got a couple more spots that we're going, and then I promise I am all yours. So your patience is greatly appreciated. Let me see where else I needed to go, and then we're done. Hold on. Okay. Hi. All right, the other thing I'm going to do also is just adjust the lighting because I feel like it's a little dark because it's really stormy. Although I'm in the southeast area of Florida, so my love and healing thoughts go out to our friends that are going to be affected by the hurricane, but we are okay. It's just rainy. So don't go anywhere. I'm just going to turn the light on a little bit more. Because we're live, and this is what live is, guys. It's live. It's like, not a studio. It's not a fixed video. It's me hanging out with you. So, okay, let's see. Did that get us any better? Am I any brighter than I was before? Okay, we can just begin because, this is really important stuff. So let's see. I wish more people talked about this. It really needs to be said. Thank you. Mental health is so important. Mental health is essential, right? Mental health is essential. You know what? I don't want to be interrupting us, but tell me if you can see me because it's kind of important that you see me when we talk about this stuff. Yes, let me know. Give me some yay, something. Just let me know if you can see me. If you need me to brighten up, you guys just say the word and I will adjust the lighting. Me and my crew, which is me and my dog and me. So, okay, you can see me. Okay, great. So here we go. Good morning. Good morning on one of the most important conversations we will ever have. Good morning, it is Tracy. I am Tracy, and today is World Mental Health Day. And, what's ironic about it is I was already intending and had a plan to come on and talk to everybody about pain being inevitable, but suffering being optional. And then it happened to coincide, good morning, Becky, and then it happened to coincide with World Mental Health Day. And I was like, oh, hell yes, we are going there, okay? So we're going to have a great conversation, and we're going to cover a lot of ground. And this is how many notes I wrote about this session today. Look at this. You seeing this? Okay, so if I look down, it's because I don't want to miss a thing. And I'm not doing a performance. I'm teaching and coaching you. So I use my notes, okay? Okay, so the first thing that I want to acknowledge is we all have mental health, okay? You don't have to have been diagnosed with something. You don't have to, have labeled yourself with a problem. Mental health is something that we all, good afternoon from the UK, good afternoon. Mental health, and share this out, guys. Share. This is a big one. Share. Okay. Mental health is something that we all possess. Okay. So I want to start to shine a light in the paradigm of, just like you would ask yourself, well, how's my physical health? Am I achy? Am I fit? Do I feel strong? Right? It's time to start asking yourself, how is my mental health? Right? And the definition that I pulled, because I really wanted to explain this to you, mental health is simply a person's condition with regard to their psychological or emotional well-being. Okay? Which I don't know about you, but when I hear that definition, I start to think about it differently, right? Because what we're talking about, because your mental self is the operating system, right? And the spaceship, the actual operator of all things, then your mental health is the thing that impacts and infects sometimes too, and affects your psychological and emotional well-being. How you feel, right? So check in with yourself. How is your mental health, right? Your mental health being your mind and your emotions, your mental, emotional well-being, right? And no matter where you are right now in the spectrum of the conversation we're about to have, and I'm going to go through 12 things, 12 choices, 12 options that you can be doing to help yourself. So it's going to be a juicy, you want to get a pen and paper. And when I'm done, I'm going to make you an offer that is just like, really? Yeah, I'm going to make it anyway because I need to, and I need you guys to start saying yes to yourselves, and I need you to feel better because you can. And there's another way to live where you're light and happy and filled with ease and calm, and you're able to love the part of you that feels anxious or low. And it's just, I'll stop there. Okay? Okay. So, regardless of where you are in this mental health spectrum, okay, whether or not you work with a clinician and you're taking some sort of medication, great. This is not a conversation about medication or anyone's opinion on medication. I am not a clinician, so you don't need to make comments about it, okay? The one thing I want to say and underscore for those of you that are get on medication for some sort of mental health support, okay? The medication doesn't mean you're not responsible for yourself. You don't take the medication with the intention of it being a magic pill that alleviates you from really still showing up and choosing, right? Because I have lots of rock star clients. Some of them use medication, some of them don't, whatever. Right? That's not the point. The point is that medication is not the fix. It's one component, one essential component, right, of what you need to do for your mental health if a clinician is telling you that that's important to you, right? That's not our conversation to be had here. But the thing you need to hear is you don't get to take a pill and then just be like, I'm done now. Let me wait and see what happens. Okay? You don't get to do that because it doesn't fix all things. You still have a responsibility to yourself, and you still have habits and attitudes and behaviors and thoughts and your focus and attention, which are all things that are really essential to how you help yourself heal, feel better, and have excellent mental health. Like mental health on a scale of 0 to 10, like you want a 10 in mental health, just like you want a 10 in physical health, right? No medication in the world is taking care of that for you. So take it, and in addition, show up for yourself and own it, okay? And make new choices. All right, great. So yes, Christy, you did, but that's okay. No judgment. We're moving on. Yes, your mental health is so important, and this is why we're approaching this and why we're talking about this. Okay, so let's see what's next. All right, so here's another funny thing about it. If I said to you guys, hey, how's your physical health, right? You would easily be like, oh, this is how I feel. This is what I do. I go to the gym. I get sleep. I eat nutritiously, right? Whatever the case might be, which ironically, you can just put as thing number one towards the choices you have about your mental health. Because if you don't think that you eating nutritiously and getting enough sleep and moving your ass isn't impacting your mental health, you are lying to yourself. Okay? I know that we have been brought up to think that like our mind and body is not connected. right? Like, we might as well have our head over here and our body over here. But they are constantly in communication with each other, guys. Your mind and your body talk all day long, down, up, bottom, up, back and forth, right? So moving your ass, which means exercise in some capacity, it's not a myth, okay? And eating nutritiously and getting enough sleep, which is not even on the list of the 12, but here it goes anyway, is essential. It's not negotiable, okay? So, because it directly impacts how you feel, your sleep, your energy, right? When you sleep, that's when your brain rejuvenates, okay? It's when your body rejuvenates, all right? All right, so now let's dig into something really important. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. What does that mean, okay? Guys, we're humans, okay? We're human. Congratulations. We're having human experiences. That means this, okay? That means darkness and lightness. That means sadness and happiness. That means that when you are a human, you are going to have experiences that push you, test you, lessons learned, right? You're going to take dips, you're going to take dives, then you're going to come back up. No human in the world has a trajectory that just goes like this. Straight, all the way up, with no triumph, right? With no challenge, with no hardship, right? The problem is that we get into our hardships and we hold on to the problem and we lament and we ruminate and we attach to it, right? Which is part and parcel to what creates our suffering, right? So I'm going to use me as an example, right? I lost my mother when I was 24 years old, right? I was holding her hand. When she took her last breath, I was holding her hand. And that pain, this pain that you're seeing, this is inevitable. This is being human. The difference is suffering looks like, I can't believe this happened. Why did this happen to me? I can't continue to go on. What's going on in my life? Kind of attaching to it, disagreeing with it, bringing the suffering on, arguing against it, right? Holding on to the why me, right? Really just doing everything in opposition to just accepting the reality of it, right? So I can feel the pain of it because clearly it's real. I can feel the pain of the tragedy. I don't have to carry it around in a suffering way, okay? That is like me giving you an example of pain versus suffering, right? I can feel the pain, but I don't have to suffer by way of how I attach to it and what I think about it and whether or not I agree that it was right or wrong, right? Or I fight against the reality that it is, okay? So there is darkness in being human. That is what happens. There is shit. There is problems. There are challenges. Okay? You are a human being. That's what we do. That's part of our human experience, right? So when you're going through something, you can acknowledge and say, wow, okay, like a divorce. I've been there too. Fuck, this is painful. This is painful. This is not looking the way that I had wanted it to look, but I'm not going to argue with it. I'm not going to create suffering. I'm not going to attach to it. I'm not going to become it and let it become me and create a spin of suffering and resentment and rumination and lamenting. Okay? Suffering is a choice. Pain is beautiful. Pain is natural. Pain is human. Suffering is a choice. I'm going to pause here. Let's see. Oh, I appreciate that, Christy, but don't hate to see me cry. I love crying. I love crying, and I want you all to cry. Okay? Crying is the best thing you can do for your mental health, actually. Let it up and out. It's not going to seep out through your feet. So if you're somebody who's holding on to your emotion, or you feel like you don't want people to see you cry, or you think crying is weakness, or you were raised to believe that it made you, less than, or whatever bullshit you were fed, it's completely wrong. And the only way out is through. The only way, right? To realize that that's another component of being human, right? So let's all make the commitment to do more of that in our lives and do more of that for each other, because so much comes out, like it's not even in the plan, but in the spirit of World Mental Health Day, how much better would our mental health be if all of us walked around and were just fucking honest about how we felt, right? And we let out the sadness and we didn't suck it back. I'm fine. Meanwhile, you're slowly dying inside and you're creating the suffering that I'm telling you is optional, right? Because you're not letting it out. Okay, yes, crying shows strength. That's 100% right. I know, I get it. I'm the same with my dad. He died of cancer in 98. I saw him go through it the whole time until his last breath. And when he left, I fell to my knees. I feel you. I can go back into that pain like that. Clearly. But it doesn't mean I'm suffering. It just means I'm human. I need you guys to be human. I'm begging you to accept the fact that you're not robots and that you're not superhuman. And that when you adopt and agree that you're human, all of this stuff becomes easier, right? And we're not judging ourselves. We're just being in it. Okay. All right. So if pain is inevitable, right? And suffering is optional, what do you do for yourself to not live in the suffering, right? Because all this connects right into the mental health you want. You want to feel better. That's the bottom line, right? Like I said, no matter what it is, chronic stress, a lot of negativity, depression, anxiety, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. We're classifying it as suffering because that is what is happening. Okay? So now we're going to go through into the juicy stuff. And this is, if you haven't been taking notes already, go ahead. I want you to go ahead and feel free to take notes because this is going to get good. Not like it hasn't been great already. Hold on. We need more coffee. This is my zero fucks given mug. Okay. All right. So, let me also say something else. This is going to feel uncomfortable. This is going to feel unfamiliar to you. Hey, Naomi. This is going to feel unfamiliar to you because you are addicted to suffering. You are addicted to making it difficult. You are addicted to spinning out. It is a habit at this point, right? Which is why you need support when you're ready to change, because you have conditioned yourself and your mind and your body to be watered by, like visual like this, like a watering can, right? Like you have actually conditioned yourself to feel like suffering is inevitable versus optional, right? Because it's just what you're used to. The nervousness, the anxiousness, the depression, the labels around it, right? The chronic stress, the constant overwhelm, the negativity, the complaining, right? You actually have conditioned yourself for it. You feel it is like a part of your identity, right? So I need to say that because, yeah, everything I'm about to say takes awareness and practice and commitment and choice, moment to moment, day after day after day, okay? So just like yes and get content thinking that's the norm. Of course, you just accept it as true. You just go, oh, well, this is how I am. I'm just an anxious person. That's how I am, right? I'm just depressed. That's how I am. Oh, I'm just negative. That's how I am. I'm just always overwhelmed. That's how I am, right? Because you've conditioned yourself to feel that way, and now your cells think that that's how they're nourished, right? Which is why when you start to change, you can have a couple days of traction, and then all of a sudden you're like sucked back into the default you, which is why you have to get support, and you have to make this a committed journey and not a destination. Okay? So just know that all the stuff I'm going to say, it's going to feel unfamiliar. It's going to feel uncomfortable. It's all good. It's all good. I'm just stressed and overwhelmed because I'm a mom. That's always an excuse. Yes, and it's complete bullshit. It's complete bullshit. I'm a mom. I have 3 teenage daughters. You want to talk about the things I could say about stress? When I say I have 3 teenage daughters, people like apologize. Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Right? Because all of us women out there who were teenage girls once know, I just hope my girls don't do half the shit that I did. That's all I could say. I won't say more because they might watch this live. Right? But you're right. That is just an excuse. And it comes down to, how do you want to feel, Naomi? Right? Like, how do you want to feel? It's just an excuse. You're creating the stress and overwhelm inside you because we create ourselves from the inside out. Okay? So all of this is going to be extremely helpful for all of you. All right? So just know we're going to go on this journey right now. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be unfamiliar, but that's a good thing, because if you keep doing what you're currently doing, you're just going to stay in the reality you're currently living in. You're going to stay in the same level of mental health that you're currently living in, right? So you must change for things to change. Okay? I don't know where this weird thought about like, oh, I'm just going to like hope for it and like talk about it a little bit and, you know, take this and then it'll just change. No, that's not how it works. Okay? Okay. So the first thing that you need to do to make suffering optional and extract it from your life is take responsibility. Take responsibility. Own it. Own what's going on for you, right? Take your own radical personal responsibility, right? And realize you're not a victim of yourself. You're not stuck. You're not a victim of your life at all. You have choices. You have power. You have your ability to be responsible, to take radical responsibility for everything that's going on around you. And here's the amazing thing about this when it comes to your mental health. And I'm going to keep using things like anxiety, depression, chronic stress, and negativity. That's kind of like, you know, as a blanket statement, right? As soon as you take radical responsibility for this type of suffering, right? What you're doing is you're breaking the resistance to it, okay? When you don't own it, here's what you're doing. You're pushing it out away from you. You're going, oh God, my anxiety, my panic attacks, oh, my depression, oh, I got the stress, the negativity, and you push it away from you. And what happens when you resist something is that it persists. It gets louder because you're not taking responsibility for it. You're not telling yourself that you can affect change of it, right? So the longer you don't own your shit, right, and sit in the corner feeling fucking sorry for yourself. We're going to get to that in a second, and I hope I'm pissing you off. I'm doing it for a reason. Okay? The longer you feel sorry for yourself and you don't choose to go, wait a second, now that's my anxiety, I'm going to pull that into me. That's my depression, I'm going to pull that into me. That's my negativity, I'm going to pull that into me. The longer you don't own it and push it away from you, the louder and more pervasive it's going to be in your life, period, end of story. Okay? So, I want you to get a little pissed off. I want you to get a little bit angry that I'm telling you that you are not a victim, that you can impact change no matter what the degree of the spectrum of mental health you're on and whether or not you're taking medication. It's not the point. You still have ownership and you still have responsibility to yourself, your life, and your choices. And I'm going to tell you why being pissed off is a good thing. Because anger has a higher frequency and is a better energy than powerlessness. Victimhood and powerlessness is the lowest level that you can possibly be at. You don't get into action when you're powerless, right? You don't get, when you get angry and a little tweaked and a little pissed off, at least you're gonna fucking stand up and do something, right? You're gonna make a change. You're gonna contemplate it. We're going to shake up some stuff that's going on inside of you so you can start to look at it and think about it differently, right? And what happens when you go, okay, fine, I'm going to own it, right? And you own it. And what happens when you pull it in towards you is now it's with you and you can go, oh, hey, anxiety, I see you. You're a part of me. I love you. You start to bring it towards you. You start to love it. the more you start to say things like, shut up, get away from me, and other methods to stop certain things, the negativity doesn't help you. The best thing you can do to disempower anything, fear included, is to take radical responsibility for it, bring it in towards you, acknowledge it, and love it. I see you, anxiety, and I love you. I see you, depression, and I love you. I see you, chronic stress, and I love you. And not because they get to hang out, not because they get to stick around, but because if you resist it, it will get bigger and louder. Okay? So own it, pull it in, see it for what it is, so that you can start to follow the next things I'm going to say and make the changes you need to make. Okay? Okay. And ask away here. I will stop intermittently for questions. The second thing that you need to do for yourself is heal your traumas, right? You have to heal your wounds. We all have wounds, and our traumas run the gamut. It could be sexual abuse. It could be verbal abuse. It could be that your dad forgot to pick you up from school when you were 8 years old and you were stuck at the school till 9:30 at night, right? It could be, fighting with siblings. It could be perfectionism in high school. It could be a death of a parent when you were younger. It could be a harsh divorce. It could be a beautifully seamless divorce that happened to have impacted you in a certain way, right? Whatever it is, it could be somebody cheated on you. Whatever it is, we all have trauma, which are really just little wounds, okay? I want to give it to you in the most palatable way possible, the little wounds. And you deserve to heal them. And the reason you need to heal them is because when you've healed them, you're able to see them differently. Your belief system changes. You step into a new version of yourself that is no longer in the shackles of that past, right? And the main thing about healing it and freeing yourself is that you're finally able to put that shit down and stop picking it back up, right? Are you getting this? Because if you keep picking your shit back up, you are like carrying your traumas and your past on your shoulder voluntarily into the future. That's me going into the future. Okay? That is literally what you are doing. You are perpetuating, you are creating your future from your past, right? Which never works and never helps your mental health and never helps you heal, right? So we have to do the healing work first. Heal the wounds, heal the trauma, right? Change the beliefs, see it for what it is, make new choices, put it down, free yourself, stop picking it back up. Okay? Okay, that's thing number 2. And yes, you're going to hang out and you're going to stay to the end, because at the end, I'm going to give you something that you are going to say yes to, and there's going to be limited spots on it because it's going to help you do all this work that fast. Okay, the third thing, and you know this is something we talk about all the time. Don't believe everything you think, okay? Don't believe everything you think. You are not your mind, okay? You are not your mind. I'm going to give you a quick mini lesson right now. I know you feel like you are. I know we were raised to not realize that we're not. One of the reasons I'm on this planet is to teach you this and make sure you get it, because once you get it, everything changes and you take empowerment to a whole new level. You have an arm. You have a leg, okay? You have a mind. You use your arm as a tool, you drive, you eat, you slap 5 with people, you shake hands, yes? You tell your hand to do so. Same thing with your leg. You dance, you kick a soccer ball, right? You do a kickboxing class, whatever. You tell your leg to do certain things as a tool. Your mind is exactly the same. It is the greatest tool you will ever have in your life, period, end of story, right? You just need to understand how to think on purpose. You need to really be able to understand what it means to change your thoughts, to change your life. You need to really understand what it means to realize, oh my God, my mindset on this is everything. How are you thinking about your mental health? How are you thinking about the struggles in your mental health, right? What are the thoughts that come up? How to think your way out of feeling anxious. How to realize that you live in the feeling of your thinking, not in the feeling of what's real. Hear that again. You live in the feeling of your thinking, not in the feeling of what's real. So if you're feeling anxious, you're thinking anxious. If you're feeling shitty, you're thinking shitty. If you're feeling depressed, you're thinking depressed. Conversely, if you're feeling happy, you're thinking happy. If you're feeling grateful, you're thinking grateful. Are you getting this? Are you getting this? Please give me something, because I'm hanging out here. Gimme. Think on purpose. Need that mug. We will make that mug. We will make that mug. Give me something, guys. Give me some emojis, some thumbs up, some hearts, some angry faces, whatever. But it's nice to know that, we're all hanging out together. Okay? So you have to stop believing everything you think. All right? And learn how to do that. Okay. And yes, there's a link for the choice experiment. Good, you're getting it. Good. If you guys are not in the choice experiment, which is 5 free days of doing work with me, 5 free days, click the link and say yes to yourself. And if you're not going to, tell me why, because I'm baffled. Okay, here's the next thing. I want you to ask yourself how your suffering is serving you. Okay? Because every single thing that you do in your life, every habit you have, right? Hold on. I'm just taking a look. Due to all the disorders, I became anorexia. Okay, yeah, right? So it's like if we don't deal with this, it just gets worse and worse and worse, right? And you create more and more suffering. Okay? Okay. So you need to ask yourself, hear me here, everything that is going on for us serves us. Everything that is happening has a function and a purpose in your life. And this is going to tweak you off too, and that's cool because pissing you off is kind of part of the point to a certain extent. Because again, when you get, what's the word? Like when you kind of kick up the dust, or the dirt rather, right? You kick up the dirt, then you start to find the stuff. And it's time to change. You know it's time to change. You know that you do not want to live from today until the rest of your timeline the way that you're currently living, right? You know that is way too high of a price to pay for someone as beautiful and good enough and worthy and deserving and lovable as you. Because we can set that record straight too. You matter. You matter, you matter. You're significant. You are lovable. You are enough. You are worthy. You are deserving. And if anyone in your life tells you differently, you send them to me. Because this is a blanket truth. And I know that because you're a human. And these are your birthrights. Okay? You don't do anything to achieve these. You are these because you were born as pure consciousness and pure love and pure worthiness and pure deliciousness. And all the shit that happened to you in your life just covered it up and fucked it all up. And now it's time to heal, peel back the layers, run your mind and love yourself so that you can be madly in love with your life. Right? Right. Okay, so that was my little preach session right there. All right. So you're going to ask yourself, how is this serving me? What is the function and purpose, right? How is my depression serving me, right? And it can be because I work with people that, have all of these kind of struggles, because we all have these struggles. You're not unique, right? That's another thing we'll get to, but you're not unique, right? We all have like certain number of themes and we're all struggling with things, right? So let's get vulnerable and be honest about it. Right? So when you ask yourself, wow, like what function does my depression have in my life? Maybe it's how you give yourself attention. Maybe it's how you get attention from others. Maybe it allows you to not show up and do certain things in your life because it gives you a reason, right? Because of your depression. Maybe the same thing with your anxiety, right? Your anxiety, everything serves you in a certain way. Your anger serves you in a certain way, okay? Your overwhelm, maybe you have like an extreme amount of overwhelm and negativity. Well, if you stay overwhelmed, then you don't really have to show up and do anything. You don't really have to take action of any sort, right? So no matter what's going on for you, it is meeting a need that you have, right? And we need to figure out what that need is so that you can release yourself from it and feed that need in another way, in a healthy, empowering, constructive way, right? Right. Okay. Next thing, understand that improving and getting great mental health and feeling amazing and living, in the reality of all of your desires takes getting support, awareness, building your own self-awareness, right? Choice consistently over and over and over and over, moment to moment, day in and day out. This is not a destination. This is a journey. Okay? This is a journey. And to have, patience and love of yourself, right? And allowing yourself the time that it takes, right? And not being like, well, I've been working on myself for like 2 weeks and I don't feel any better, because you wouldn't dare go to the gym with the intention of getting, great biceps and a six-pack and go to the gym 3 times a week for 4 weeks and turn around to your trainer and go, hello, why am I not buff? You would never do that. But you do that when it comes to how you feel and, doing your personal development work and healing yourself and practicing forgiveness and letting go of resentment and healing your wounds, right? It's like this, what I need it now, right? Patience and choice, Okay? Okay. All right. The next thing, be nice. Be nice. Be nice. Be nice to yourself. Let's touch on that first. Be nice to yourself. While you're on this journey of improving your mental health and feeling better, right? Really, really cultivating a phenomenal emotional, mental, spiritual well-being, right? Be nice to yourself. Because if you're not nice to yourself, you might as well not do any of the other work. Because when you're mean to yourself, or you shame yourself, or you beat the shit out of yourself, you are actually discounting your ability to feel better, okay? Because no words are more important than the words you say to yourself. No treatment is more important and impactful than the way you treat yourself. So you can have a whole support team and a wonderful family and great friends all loving on you and rooting for you and supporting you, and you can nurture your soul and you can do all these extracurriculars, you can go to yoga and you can eat kale. But if you are beating yourself up, and if you are not being nice, and if you are not practicing self-compassion, and you are, not using nice words, and you're not praising yourself, you'll never feel better, because you are your loudest voice. Are you with me? Right? So be nice to yourself. And one of the ways that you can do that is by thinking about someone that you love, your best friend, your child, your spouse, whoever comes to mind when I say, who do you love more than anyone in the entire world, not including yourself? Right? And you start to ask yourself and turn it around to yourself. How do I treat myself that way? How do I be my own best friend right now? What kind of tone would I use with this person? How gentle would I be with that, right? And you start to do what you would do unto that other person to yourself until it becomes familiar to you, and then you're automatically living in that space where you're nice to yourself. Okay? So be nice to yourself. The second part of be nice to other people. Okay? Connection is the number reason why we're here, and connection is the thing that will make you live the longest. Scientifically, by the way, this isn't like Tracy's opinions on life, okay? Scientifically, connection, right? But we walk around and we see how many other humans do you see in a given day, right? And even for my female entrepreneurs out there who hunker down in their houses, which get out of your house, go work in a coffee shop or something. But you see, I don't know, anywhere between 10 and, depending on who you are, 50 to 150 people a day. By the time you leave the house in the morning, go to work, go shopping, go to Publix, grocery store, whatever, go to church, temple, extracurriculars, how many people do you look in the eye? Probably next to none or half, right? How many people, when you look at them, you smile and you go, hi, how are you? You don't have to know them. Be nice. Be nice. Because number one, you don't know what that person is suffering with, right? What they're struggling through. So how great is it to infuse a little bit of connection there? Because energy is relational, guys. There's a reason why when you're around somebody, you can feel like your soul is being fucking sucked dry and you've got to get out of there fast, right? Versus being in an environment with someone you're like, oh my God, standing next to this person makes me feel amazing. That's relational energy. And the way that we share energy is by connecting with each other, right? So take a second, go a little bit slower. Look the person in the eye. Say, hi, how are you? Have an amazing day. I love your shirt. Whatever, right? And engage the people around you. Be nice. And the amazing part of that one is that it actually fuels you back from a beautiful, beautiful way. So you're helping other people and you're helping yourself. Whoop, whoop. All right, be nice. Okay, hold on. I need another sip of coffee before we keep going. Okay, get outside. That's the next thing. Get outside. Nature is the most healing thing you can do to stop your suffering. Okay? Put your feet in the grass. It's grounding. You start to feel the connection to something much bigger than you. Okay? It helps you hold things relative, right? Breathe the air in from the outside. Take a second and get mindful and look at the green tree against the blue sky with the white puffy cloud, right? Feel the ground. Maybe it's a little wet. Maybe it's hard. Maybe it's soft. Drop your shoulders. Open up your chest. And just connect to the thing that like brought us all together. I don't know. I don't even know how we got here. I don't even know what I believe about that, truthfully. But I know that there's something much bigger than us at work here. And we're connected to it. And it helps the relativity of, oh my God, like whatever's going on for me isn't this big, huge, hairy problem. I'm this tiny, right? Like what I like to do when I'm in that space, when you're outside in nature, right? Because we all know that the earth is round, right? And if you think of a globe, you have like the green areas and then all the tons of blue water representation, right? So if you sit outside in nature and you stop for a second and you can do this anywhere, middle of your day, morning, night, whatever, in front of your office building, backyard, whatever. And you put your feet in and you just take a second, and no, you can't bring your phone and you can't listen to music either. Just be there. Okay? And you take a deep breath and you let it out. I want you to zoom out in your mind. Okay? Zoom out and as if you can see like a camera being pulled off of you, and then you just start to see you in whatever area you're in, right? And then you pull out, further, metaview, which is like, I don't know the exact definition, but when you're super, super far away from something, right? You can see the whole. And then all of a sudden, as you zoom, now you're in space and you look down and you're like, oh my God, look at how tiny I am in that little spot of grass in that huge area of grass on the globe with all the water around me. And it gives you perspective. Like, okay, it's okay. I'm part of something much bigger. It gives you perspective. Okay? Okay. So you got to get outside. It's the best thing you can do for yourself. The best thing for any suffering. I don't care what the classification of suffering is, or what the degree of mental health you're working on is, get outside. Okay? Okay. All right, next thing. Breathe. Not the way you're breathing now. Breathe deeply. Change the rate, depth, and pattern of how you breathe. Breathe in for a count of 4. Hold it for a count of 4. Let it out for a count of 4. Sit at the bottom for a count of 4. And do it again. Okay? If you don't change the rate, depth, and pattern of how you breathe, right, you will not be able to interrupt your nervous system to start to think differently and to start to pick up on all the list of choices I'm giving you here, right? It's like juicy. This is juicy. If you watch this replay again and you take notes and you start doing this, I guarantee you your mental health will improve. You will get better. You will feel better. You will start showing up differently. You will change your life, right? Right. So breathe. And yes, I have videos on this too. So if you're not part of the community, message me after or go on litfactor.com and join Get Lit, which is on the top. It's a newsletter bi-weekly. I send you guys all this kind of stuff to do so you can do this work, right? Right. So breathe. You have to breathe differently. When you interrupt the way that you are breathing currently and you change it, you send new signals into your brain. You calm down and interrupt your nervous system. You drop out of your head and you drop into your heart and body, which is when you can actually choose. You cannot make new choices while you are spinning out up here in the same place that created the problems originally. Okay? Okay. All right. Next thing you can do to end your suffering and improve your mental health is go help someone else. Stop making it about you. Stop focusing on yourself and how bad you feel, and how terrible everything is, and how anxious you are, and how stressed out you are, and how, okay? It's exhausting. Go help somebody else, Okay, it's the best thing you can do is contribute. Go find someone in need. Go pull your neighbor's trash cans in, right? Go volunteer if that's something that is available to you in your day, right? Send a text message to someone you love telling them why you love them and why you appreciate them in your life, right? Go do something that is not about you, that is in contribution of or support of another human being. You will feel better like that. Like that's probably the quickest road to feeling better, because now you're taking the attention off you, your ego's at rest, your soul is being nourished and served because you're in service to another human being, and you're contributing, you feel purposeful, and you build your self-esteem. Winning, okay? Help someone else. So stop making it about you and go do something for someone else. The next thing that you can do, which is also one of those instant feel-betters, purge, clean, or organize something. I don't know if anybody here has experienced it, but when I purge, I'm on fucking fire. Like I feel like I could flip cars after I'm done organizing or cleaning, right? If I'm feeling funked out and I just organize the junk drawer, I'm like, oh yes, right? And when's the last time you went into your garage and threw away all the shit you haven't touched in 3 years? Right? Right. So think just when you're feeling low, right? Or you want to improve the way you're feeling your mental health, clean, purge, or organize something. I promise you, like that, you will feel better, okay? And the final thing, and then I'm gonna go through some of these comments, and ask me any questions you have, guys, because this is where it's at. The final thing you need to do is get help. Get help, get support. If you feel like you need a therapist, find a therapist. If you want a coach, get a coach. Join a program. When people offer you things to help you, give you opportunities to feel better, to be different, you say yes to them, right? Because again, going back to the top of this live, your suffering and your current beliefs and your current state is a habit, okay? That's your current belief system. So it might not feel natural or familiar to say, yes, I'm going to get help, I'm going to grow, I'm going to expand, I'm going to heal this, I'm going to do this, right? Because it feels unfamiliar. So you start to freak yourself out because when you're in unfamiliar, unknown territory, fear can take over if you don't understand how to dance with it. Okay? So if you want to, right now, start to feel better, and from this moment to the end of your timeline, be a different person, break up with parts of yourself that aren't serving you, learn how to love and let go of your anxiety, right? And feel better, get out of your depression, stop your chronic stress, become positive and not negative, and live the life that you deserve to live, you have to do something different. Okay? Hope is not a strategy. It's not. Wishing and wanting sounds lovely, but it just fakes you out that something's going to change. Nothing's going to change until you make a fucking choice to invest in yourself and to ask for the help and do it. Okay? Okay. So, I'm going to pause here and I'm going to go through some of our notes, okay? And I'm going to tell you something that I'm going to, but it's not even the choice experiment, sign up for right now. Everybody who's watching live, if you're on the replay, say replay if you want to, but most importantly, click the link for the choice experiment and join me and the community of people that are doing it, because it's going to be the beginning of your chance to change, right? And it's free. So just do it. Here's the other thing that I'm going to offer you, but before I do, I just want to scroll up and go to as many comments as I can. All right, so I'm going to make the offer now so that if you feel like jumping off, you can. So in addition to being a coach, I'm a rapid transformational therapist. And that is a profound, profound method that within 1 to 3 sessions, and in truth, I've never had to do more than 2 on anybody, and I have worked with people and healed them through anxiety, social anxiety, depression, confidence, self-esteem issues, childhood traumas, the gamut, okay? And working with me to do a rapid transformational intensive, which is an RTT session, you then get a personal transformational recording that you listen to every single day. That's where you come in. You got to choose to listen to the recording, right? Every day for at least 21 days, right? And you have unlimited access to me for that 3 weeks over a special app, okay? That is a $1,500 investment, always. That's what it costs. Because it's World Mental Health Day and because I need to make it easy for you to say yes to yourself, here's the deal. I have 5 spots. 5 spots, and you get that for half the price, $750. Don't you dare tell me that you don't have that. I'm sorry, because if you're suffering and you want out and you want to heal yourself, how dare you say no to yourself? Because you're either choosing to stay where you are, and that's fine. Like love and light, that's great. But you're not allowed to make a choice and then feel like shit about it. And you're not allowed to make a choice and then beat yourself up about it, right? And then you're not allowed to make a choice and then complain and bitch about why you don't feel better. Okay? You're not allowed to. I'm sorry. That's not how it works. You are where you are because of you. You are responsible for yourself. So this is a chance for you to go, I'm done. This woman is pissing me off in all the right ways. And the reason I'm doing it is because I fucking love you guys. I love you guys. I don't get up and do this live for me. I get up and do this live for you. Because I know what it's like to live on the other side. I'm going to crack the window. You're going to feel the breeze and you're going to be like, fuck, I want to go out there. And I'm never coming back. Because that's how good it feels. And that's how many options you have. And there is a different way to live than the way you are currently living. And it's not your fault, but nobody told you up until now, but I'm telling you. So there are 5 spots and there are only 5 spots, which means if you're number 6, I love you, but I have to cut it off somewhere because my time is also limited. Okay? It's $750 to start to feel change like that. And then you can continue to do the work. $750 for a RTT session with your transformational recording and access to me for 3 weeks of support. Okay? So what you need to do for that is you need to say, I'm in right now in the string, and then I'll message you, or just go ahead and directly message me through Facebook or email me at tracy@thelitfactor.com. Okay? Okay. So let me see what kind of questions we have. All right. Thank you. This is a great point. Good. If you need a good cry, yes, do it. Go for it. Go for it. Okay. And again, if I don't see your comment, I don't necessarily see all of them all the time. Let's see. I live with the motto, everything happens for a reason. Relax. I'll pull through it. You know what, Lori? Thank you for saying that because that is something else I wanted to say that I totally forgot to say. Everything is always happening for your highest good. And this is part of the pain being inevitable and suffering being optional conversation. Everything is always happening for your highest good. What that means is I need you to all write that down and use that mantra every single day because it's true. And highest good doesn't always mean in the moment, right? So no, when my mother died in front of me, did that feel like it was happening for my highest good? Fuck no. Did the fact that I was a single mother when my daughter was 9 months old and she's crying in her crib and I'm crying in the garage fetal position on the floor feel like it was happening for my highest good? No, not really. Not really. Right? Like I've had plenty of life experience too. We all have. The point is that when you believe that everything is happening for your highest good because it is, what it means is knowing that these experiences are part of where you're going. They're part of bringing you into the place and the manifestation of where you're supposed to be, of where you want to be, of where you're called to be, right? So even if in the moment of the darkness, in the moments of the trouble, in the moments of the trauma, right, it feels like your fucking heart is going to get ripped out of your chest and lay on the floor for the rest of your life. Outside of your body, right? I promise you, you were also made to heal. You were made to feel better. You were made to process. You were made to move through it so that you can get out of the other side. And no matter how it feels right now, no matter how it feels right now, no matter how big the thing is that you want to say, no, but Tracy, no. Stop justifying your suffering. Stop. You don't have to. You can be different. Okay? It is all always happening for your highest good. And at some point in your life, you go, holy shit, right? Let me think another one of mine. Oh, the time that my townhouse was foreclosed on and I was getting freaking subpoenaed and letters of people suing me to get money, right? Did that feel like it was happening for my highest good? No. Okay? But now it all does. It's like it all links together at some point. You're like, oh my God, this is part of my journey. Holy shit. It all led me to this thing, right? The marriage I'm in, the wonderful, it makes me a little emotional too. The man that I'm with, my additional delicious children, because I have 3 daughters, right? And 2 of them I didn't birth, but it doesn't matter because we've been a family since they're all babies, right? Since they're 3, 5, and 6. Had I not been a single mother when I was 9 months old in complete fucking despair and hysteria and sadness, right? If that didn't happen for me, I wouldn't be sitting in the situation I'm in now, right? So it always happens the way it needs to happen. Okay, let's see what else. April, I grew up around a lot of anger. Now it just seems like it's my go-to when anything happens. What is the best way to work through and change that? I'm so tired of being angry all the time. Well, April, you're in the experiment, all right? And then you're going to keep doing some work with me, which you'll find out about. But here's the thing I want to point out for any of you that resonate with what April's saying. She grew up around a lot of anger and it's her go-to anytime anything happens. Here's why. We have something called masochistic equilibrium, which is where however we were conditioned as we grew up is what we will always create or sabotage down to, because that's your line of familiarity. That's what you are conditioned to feel, right? So to you, when you don't feel angry, it's hard for you to make that change because the cells in your body are going, what are you doing trying to be all happy and compassionate and loving? We like anger. Anger is what feels right to us. Anger is what's super familiar. And because your mind and body talk, your body throws then thoughts up into your mind to be like, make her think things that make her go back to who she was. Okay? And yeah, it's a lot broader than that. And when you work with me, you learn it, you take it with you, and your life changes, right? But first, understand that, April. Start to see your anger is different and stop resisting it. Go back to thing 1. Stop making it this thing outside of you and own that shit. Hey, anger, what's up? Come on over here. Sit with me. Are you with me, April? So start there, right? Start there. Stop saying, I'm so tired of being angry. I'm done being angry all the time, but I love my anger. I know where it comes from, and now I know why I always default back to it, and I'm just going to keep making new choices, right? And get conscious and understand how my mind works, which you are going to do with me. So you're already on your road. Let's see what else. I'm getting it. Yay, yay. Can't wait for the experiment. Sweet. If you still haven't joined, why not? Kind of like getting out of the sandbox when everyone's throwing in sand. Exactly. Lisa, I'm listening to you in Walmart and have so much eye contact right now. Listening to you makes me hold my head up higher. That's amazing. Exactly. We don't realize we walk around like fucking zombies. Just like in our own business, in our own egos, just like so fucking consumed with our own shit. And then we wonder why we are in the place we're in our lives. It's not really a mystery. Let's see. Yes, watch it from the beginning, Rena, and good morning. Sarah, being outside in nature is when I see Jehovah the most. He is much bigger than any of my problems. Amazing. Amazing. Yes, guys, whatever thing in life is bigger than you that you believe in, connect to that. Have some faith. Whatever it is, Jehovah, God, Spirit, Source, the universe, Jesus, whatever. It doesn't matter. We all have something. How do I get over when someone you trusted have wronged you in the worst possible way and you're angry and depressed and you can't do anything about it? Sabine, thank you for your question. Thank you for your vulnerability. And the first thing that I'm going to tell you is that you can't do anything about it belief is what is creating the problem. Because when you're saying you can't do anything about it, you are rendering yourself powerless. And you're not powerless. So I want you to ask yourself instead of can't, won't. Answer this. Why won't I do anything about it? Before I even address the rest of it, answer that question for yourself, join the choice experiment, and reach out to me, okay? Because you can do a lot about it. Let's see. Sit your ego down. Whoop, whoop. Yes, yes, yes. It would be great to see testimonials from your RTT work. Amazing. There's tons of them. What I will do is my computer just died, so I would have done it simultaneously. If you go to the Lit Factor and you go to work with me, there's a click down that says RTT hypnotherapy. Okay. So go on there. You will see all the testimonials. You'll be like, oh my God, I need this. And you'll say yes, because I'm not making it this price again anytime soon. But they're amazing and you will love them. And then I will later drop the link in here. Exactly. Okay, great. So there you go, guys. That's our delicious session for the day. Watch the replay when you need to. Take notes. I am so grateful to be able to be here. You showing up, you paying attention, you being interested, you doing the work to love and serve and change yourselves is why I get to be here. And I want you to know that not for 1 second of one day do I ever take that for granted. Okay? I am super, super grateful. And in the spirit of everything we learned today, I want you to make a choice for yourself and decide one of the many things we talked about. And what are you going to do differently today to help yourself feel better and to create a better mental health space and your emotional and well-being at its max? Okay? You're amazing, and I freaking love you. So there. All right, I'm going to go out on my day. One of the things I'm going to do is go take a run or a walk, because I don't really run. I kind of half run. Like I walk and then I sprint a little bit and then I walk again because it's cloudy. And I love some days when it's not super sunny and it's just kind of like mush and yummy. April, what is the difference between embracing it and accepting that you are just angry? Well, what I mean is accept the fact that become aware of the fact that the reason why anger feels so familiar to you is because that's what you were raised in. And that single understanding is going to become very, very powerful for you, right? Then there's a difference between when you're feeling angry, you let the anger out. You figure out what's underneath the anger, because anger is a secondary emotion. Anger is what happens after. Usually underneath anger is sadness, hurt, disappointment, letdown of some sort, right? So start there and ask yourself, well, what's really going on underneath my anger? And then you're going to join choice, and then you're going to join something else, and we're going to do the work. Okay? Okay. All right, guys. I love you. Mwah! Treat yourselves well. Happy Mental Health Day.